Good morning, everyone, and welcome into Wake and Take. It's your boy Jason, and we've got some football to talk about today. Today, I woke up with best ball fever. I wanted to do a little bit of an underdog draft, so we're going to do that today. We're going to enter into the weekly winners contest. We're going to talk a little bit about my strategy when I've been doing some of these. I've only done 3 so far, but we'll look into my exposure. We'll talk about our draft picks. And of course, while we're killing time, waiting to be on the clock, I'm going to be answering your questions. So go ahead, start popping off in the chat. Go ahead, pull out your coffee, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. All right, so I went ahead. I've entered the contest. We're still waiting on 4 more people to join. Oh, this is awesome. Terminal Sarcasm has a little parrot. Top of the morning to you. This is Picasso. I love your bird. What kind of parrot is that? It kind of looks like a conure beak, but I can't tell. I don't think that's a conure. Is it no? Is it a conure? Here's Pip, by the way. Pip, check out Picasso. Isn't that cool? That's awesome. Anyway, good morning to you, Terminal Sarcasm. Good morning to you, Jeremy. Good morning to you, Scrap Iron. And good morning to you, Applied Literature, Ryan and Anthony. That is a yellow-fronted Amazon parrot. How cool is that, guys? How cool is that? What a special bird. That is very cool. That's awesome. I love you very much, Picasso. So, guys, we have some football to talk about today. As mentioned again, we are doing a little bit of a weekly winners draft here on Wake and Take. Also, looks like my bunny is mad at me right now, so hold on. Let me let him out. I trapped him in the room, guys. I trapped him. Get out of here, bud. Get out of here. Okay. He just wanted to chew on the door. Still waiting. Still waiting. This is the worst part of any best ball draft live stream, right? It's just waiting on the damn room to fill. Like, can you not? Like, can you not just fill up the room? Can we not? So I guess while we are waiting, we're still waiting on 2 more people. I will go ahead and show you my exposure, what I've been doing so far in these weekly winners. As you can see, I am not talking shit when I draft my Jameson Williams. I'm serious in my love for JMO. 75% drafted so far in my 3 weekly winners drafts. If you looked at my other exposures for the other contests, you would see some very high JMO. I'm curious to see how much he has risen. I haven't drafted. Well, I did 1 draft this weekend. But I haven't really done much draft since the OTA hype, so I am very much curious to see how he's doing. As you can see, I also just like to get Josh Allen in this contest. I think it makes a ton of sense. And then I have apparently Bijan in 2 shares. I have 2 little Bijan shares. I thought I only had 1, but that is what it is. And I think I have myself a Breece Hall, and then I should also have myself an Amon-Ra somewhere down here as well. So I guess Have I done 4? I have done 4 weekly winners instead of 3. There we go. That's the math. But anyway, still waiting on 1 more person to join. I do actually, my Lions team with Amon-Ra ended up turning out pretty good. So I guess, let me see if I can enter. So yeah, it says only three entries. It's so weird. Okay. So not that it was this one. So one thing that we'll do as we get into this, still waiting on 1 more person. I'll just go ahead and talk about my strategy here. I'm sure it's not unique to many people, but especially in weekly winners, I try my best to stick within the division, just because that's already 2 games within the year between each opponent to where you can really stack and have a nice one. I also try to make sure, so this was the very first one I did. And as you can see, when you go down to Amon-Ra, I actually had the 3rd pick and I decided to take Amon-Ra. And that's because I knew it would be easy to stack him. Which, going back now to this, I am on the clock at 1:03 again in this new weekly winners that we'll be live streaming. And so, again, we talked about it actually maybe yesterday's episode of Wake and Take, Monday's episode of Wake and Take. Somebody asked me what my favorite draft spot was, and I said at the end of the draft, and I absolutely hate drafting at the beginning. That is still the case. There is nothing worse in a best ball draft or in any redraft draft to pick within the top 5. It is the worst. I hate it more than anything. And I am very much frustrated right now getting the 103, especially since every single time I've done a weekly winner, I have picked within the top 5. I would like a back end pick. It makes it easier. It makes it better. I hate picking at the beginning because you just have to take a stand on someone. And I just don't know. Like I said, I mean, I'm not going to go for a Monra because I've already done that. I've already done a Breece Hall and a Bijan team. So again, I say I really like to pick where it's easy to stack. And so I think we're going to go with Justin Jefferson here. And this is probably a hot take. I should probably just get Tyreek Hill. I'm just going to get Tyreek Hill. And I already want to turn off this stream. I hate drafting Tyreek Hill, but I just have to. It's weekly winners. He's going to have some massive weeks. I don't like Tyreek Hill, as you can tell. I just don't. I don't know what it is. Maybe at this point it's because he's 30. But as you guys know now, I've been talking about getting. Oh, nice, Tika's in the draft. Welcome, Tika. As I've talked about a lot, Tyreek Hill is one of the biggest sells for me this offseason, especially in Dynasty. You can go look at Dynasty rankings and see that he is the only wide receiver that is 30 years old. Actually, the only wide receiver older than 28 within the top 30, and he is right now in most Dynasty rankings in the top 12 of wide receivers. That is a huge discrepancy between his peers. I would much rather take Tyreek Hill in Dynasty and trade him for DeAndre Hopkins plus, trade him for Devontae Adams plus, trade him for Cooper Kupp plus, because I don't think you're going to lose much production and still have pretty high of a ceiling while also being able to scrape out some value for the rest of your roster. So in Dynasty, I'm selling the hell out of Tyreek Hill. But in a best ball contest, especially a weekly winners one, I'll just bite the bullet and take some Tyreek Hill. And the special part about that is I do get to now kind of do a little bit of an AFC East team, which does kind of suck, but it's not the worst thing in the world. And also I can just pull up the Dolphins schedule as I'm going to do now and just kind of look for some of the games that I think will be good to attack. So let me go ahead and pull that up while we wait. I'm still 10 picks away. Weekly winners, guys, it is just important to, you've got to know everything going on with the team, especially of your number one draft pick. Like I'm stuck probably, unless someone good falls to me here, I could pivot away from the Dolphins team and just have a naked Tyreek Hill. Some people think that's bad process, but Tyreek Hill is just a stud. Like I'm not worried about it. Like I don't really have to get Devon Achane, for example. I don't have to get Jalen Waddle. I don't have to get Tua. I can just have Tyreek Hill. But we'll see what happens with my next pick if I do want to go down that route. But if you look through the Dolphins' schedule this season, of course, we have the AFC East matchups, but the AFC East will be playing. Sorry, it's still loading. It looks like the AFC South and the NFC West, which are both some pretty solid divisions. Actually, they have a Texans matchup. They've got a Colts matchup, a Titans matchup. They've got the Seahawks, the Cardinals, the Rams. That is interesting. Seahawks, Cardinals, Rams, Texans, Colts, Titans, and Jaguars, I think could be good. So I could also just stay and do a little bit of an AFC South, throw that into here as well as the East and the NFC West. Those are some shootout divisions. So I want Bills players. I probably would like a Texans player maybe, but that's what I'm going to be working off of as I look through. Anyway. So in 6 picks, I'm kind of hoping here that Devon Achane falls. But if not, I think what's important in these best ball drafts, especially in this range, is to go ahead and try to lock down maybe a quarterback, maybe a tight end. In this case, I'm not going to go tight end just because actually, let me double check. They might play the Lions. That is definitely a possibility. They do not play the Lions. So Sam Laporta is not really going to be tantalizing at all, but Josh Allen is. Again, this is an AFC East team as I go through this, and Josh Allen, I think, could be, of course, the QB1 again in redraft. And when we have 2 matchups against the Dolphins, that's not a bad thing. So I think, let me go ahead and look at the people that pick around me. So I don't think I want to push quarterback if Josh Allen is there. I think I would just go ahead and take him. So I'm going to add him to the queue. And if that doesn't work out, we do play the 49ers. We do play the 49ers. The Dolphins do. So that is something. But I think I just want to go ahead and lock myself down some Josh Allen. Go ahead and get the potential QB1 and have the 2 matchups against the Miami Dolphins. So all right, Joe Mixon with the right hook. That's a name and a half. Don't take Josh Allen. Go ahead and take a wide receiver, man. You love wide receivers. Joe Mixon with the right hook. And he loves tight ends. So anyway, we'll go Josh Allen here and then just kind of hope that Jalen Waddle makes it back around here for my 3-3. It is definitely possible. I'm assuming that none of these, Team could go running back. Yeah, he goes Kyron. But yeah, so Jane, he has a running back as well. He has Christian McCaffrey, so he'll probably just get Debo or Ayuk or both. He can get both of them here and probably be pretty happy about it. Probably be pretty happy about it. Debo, that's one of them. Get Ayuk too. Just do it. Go Niners, man. Go Niners. Christian McCaffrey, Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. That is a fun squad if he pulls that off. Yeah, he did it. So that's pretty cool. And then Team Noga, I'm assuming here he has Kyron Williams and CD Lamb. That is, yeah, he's just going to go with a pick, right? So then I'm just going to take Jalen Waddle. And here we go. Josh Allen, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. Not too shabby at all. And yes, I can show the draft board. Sorry, I'm getting locked in at the beginning. Here's the draft board. Here's what we're looking at. Sorry, guys. This is a good old weekly winners contest, Anthony. So now we just kind of have to wait for it to come back around to us. I'm assuming here I pick an 18, so we can go ahead and scroll down a little bit. I guess I could try get the Dalton Kincaid stack with Josh Allen. I think that would work really well. And then other than that, I mean, I think Tank Dell's a value right now. I don't think we have a Steelers game. We do not play the Steelers, so I'm not really worried about George Pickens. We do play the Browns, so Amari Cooper could be fine. We do play the Colts, so I could maybe double down on quarterback, but I don't think that's smart. I think at this point, I've definitely got to get Tua the way that it's shaped up. Let me put the board back up. So yeah, I think I'm hoping for Dalton Kincaid when it comes back around for now. And then I'm probably hoping maybe I'll just take a running back. We do play the NFC North, so Josh Jacobs is not a bad pick. We do play the Packers in week 13. The Dolphins do. And again, I'm just going to go ahead and share this tab for a second. Just you can go when you're doing these. I highly recommend just pulling up your team's schedule. As we know, week 17 doesn't matter as much for the weekly winners, but still just going through and finding the games that you think and most of us will think will be high scoring. That's just what you're trying to attack here. So again, in this scenario, I'm doing the Dolphins and I guess Bills, which is a fun one. That's a really fun one. Two high potency offenses in the AFC South, similar schedules as well. Like this should play together pretty handsomely, actually. Very excited to see who can fall for me. But we're hoping Kincaid. It should happen. Kincaid should happen. Unless someone just reaches and takes him. But it should happen. 10 picks away. I think it's right there. And then, yeah, if not, Josh Jacobs, I think, is a fine pick. I think he has a pretty solid ceiling this year. And then, of course, James Cook would be fine, too. And Joe Mixon as well. We have a Texans matchup. So those are going to be – this is my cue here. These are all teams that both the Bills and the Dolphins play against, the NFC North and the AFC South. Those matchups are up. So, Anthony, thanks for joining, by the way. Thanks for joining. Let's check into Anthony's team. How's Anthony doing? He's got Bijan, Devontae, DJ Moore. Those are some studs right there. And what's awesome about Bijan is you could, of course, just try to get Kirk later. You could try to get Kyle Pitts later, but you don't really have to. Like, just having Bijan is fine. And with Devontae and DJ Moore, you, of course, have the cheap Caleb Williams, the cheap Gardner Minshew or Aiden O'Connell, whichever one you pick. It's, of course, Gardner Minshew. That's the answer. But some people don't necessarily think that. So anyway, I like your team so far, Anthony. Oh, Dalton Kincaid goes. So we'll not be able to pull that off. We'll probably just have to go with a wide receiver or running back with our next couple picks, which is fine, right? Like I'm not too worried about not stacking or correlating Josh Allen. That was more so just to have a quarterback because that is a high ceiling quarterback pretty much week in, week out in the weekly winners. You can have naked Josh Allen. It's not the end of the world. But of course, the beauty is you can get Keon Coleman. You can get James Cook if I want to here with a running back, because I do probably want to take a running back here. Go ahead and lock down one of those in my 0 RB build. So James Cook is not a bad option. Can get Ray Davis. That's probably fine. So anyway, that's I guess what we're hoping for now. Dalton Kincaid going that early is kind of a sting. It also doesn't make sense for this guy's team, given Eagles, Lions, Chiefs, Bills. But one thing to note is it is always nice, especially in these contests, to try to get the person who might be number one. So I don't mind reaching just a little bit if you have to. And what's awesome, actually that's the preseason. Never mind, it's a preseason game against the Falcons. I was like, I could get myself some Kyle Pitts, but no, I can't. There's no Kyle Pitts to be had today. I think we're going to get Tank Dell with this pick, and then probably Joe Mixon or James Cook with whoever is left, unless he takes Tank Dell, of course. And of course, there is this value here, this ADP drop, if you will, with Malik Neighbors. But I'm not really about it. I think I'm fine passing on Neighbors. I just, you have to betting on. Okay, well, he'll take Dell. I probably could have expected that given he had Nico, but whatever. So, interesting. Okay, I guess we are. Well, I think we have a Ravens matchup. We'll take Zay Flowers. I hope I wasn't wrong there. I think I was wrong there. We do not have a Ravens matchup. We're just getting Zay Flowers. Oops. I remembered the Browns game, so I thought maybe there was an AFC North, but I think that's just a Browns matchup for some reason. So anyway, I guess we're just adding Zay Flowers to this team. And then we'll get probably James Cook when it comes back. But really, any of these running backs would be fine. I could get Mark Andrews too and just have a little bit of a double Ravens thing going on. It's sucks that I didn't get Tank Dell. I'm not going to lie. I think that would have been perfect. But that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes on these damn things. Oh, that's so frustrating. One pick away. That would have been perfect. Again, we have the matchup with the Texans, and we could have also gotten Joe Mixon, who I think is going to be pretty solid this year. Damn. But yeah, we'll probably just get James Cook, unless, of course, he decides to take him. I don't see why he would. I don't really see why he would, but he might. He might. And it looks like he'll probably just get stuck with Stroud, which is not bad. Not bad. You can't complain about Stroud, although you can if you're this guy. Oh, Joe Mixon. Oh, that's what you get for taking Tank Dell from me. You could have just taken Stroud, but instead you pushed quarterback, and now you don't get to stack Nico and Tank with Stroud. Dang. That's just how it goes, and he takes James Cook. So it's not the end of the world. I am totally fine with Joe Mixon here. Of course, James Cook would have been good to go with Josh Allen, but again, I'm fine with Josh Allen. We do have a Dolphins-Texans game, so it'll be okay. And we also have a Texans-Ravens game, so now that kind of plays together as well in Week 17. Now, of course, Week 17 doesn't matter as much, but it's still a week that'll take place in this contest. So anyway, I guess we still at least have some correlation there. We'll now pull up the board and see what's going on. Anthony's about to be on the clock as well. He took Trey McBride with his last pick, so not bad at all. Hollywood going before. I'm sure that stings, but it looks like there's some decent options for you. Yeah, Kyler Murray. There you go. Get that Trey McBride, Kyler Murray stack. I like that a lot. Nice pick. Nice pick. And then when it comes back to you, who knows where you could go? You can go a number of ways, but I think that's a fun one. Locking down a potential top 10 quarterback is always smart. And yeah. Any questions, by the way? It doesn't even have to be about best ball, but just straight up, any questions just to kill the time. We're drafting here for a while. We're going to be here. I'm happy to answer questions that have nothing to do with what's going on. I'm here. I'm here for y'all right now. Go ahead and ask me anything you want, really. We could treat this as an AMA as we wait. Let's see. Keenan Allen, Jaden Reed. This is just such an interesting range right here. Like, I have been taking a lot of Kyle Pitts here. I'm not going to lie. Instead of taking a chance on some of these wide receivers, I love getting some Kyle Pitts. He's a total stud. But I also understand not getting Kyle Pitts if that's not your cup of tea, if you've been burned by him before. Although that is bad process. Just because you've been burned by a player before doesn't mean they're going to burn you again. And Kyle Pitts is just such a stud. If he falls, which he won't, I will definitely be taking him 10 picks from now. Otherwise, probably scroll down a bit and probably be looking at some Keon Coleman, maybe some Xavier Worthy. But, one of these things. I could maybe get Mostert, although I think instead of Mostert, I would feel much better just getting Jalen Wright a little bit later. I don't think we have a Packers game. We do have a Packers game, Week 13. So Christian Watson could be a good pick too. So anyway, we'll see. We'll see. Anthony, who are you hoping for? Let's see. We've got 4 picks before Anthony's, 3 after L-Dog picks. He's got the Cardinals stat going on. He's got some other stuff going on. Who would you want here? I guess you could probably a running back. Maybe get some Alvin Kamara. That could be fun if I'm you. I think you have a little Bijan Alvin Kamara action. Get a little NFC South movement going. Here we go. Jeremy asks, why do people stack teams? I feel like there isn't enough fantasy points to go around every week, especially 3. Like I'm confused on CMC, Debo, and IU. It's for this type of contest, I do find it a little bit more important than in the season long. But even then, in the season long, it's important too. Basically, what the stacking does is just maximize your ceiling. Yes, it does seem that you might be minimizing your floor by getting a lot of players on the same team. But especially in weekly winners, there are going to be weeks where Tyreek Hill pops off. There are going to be weeks where Jalen Waddle pops off, and so on and so forth. And so you kind of just want to have all of your different options. For the most part, what I'm assuming, although he didn't pull it off, and that's kind of his problem for timing out, Jane X probably did not want CJ Stroud there. He probably just wanted Brock Purdy later. And then, of course, you just have the Brock Purdy going around. Right, you have the week where Christian McCaffrey goes crazy. You have the week where Debo Samuel goes crazy. You have the week where Brandon Ayuk goes crazy. And then, of course, you have the quarterback. And then the rest of your team is probably still getting a decent floor. Like, those players aren't bad. So it's just it's kind of just a nice one. And Anthony does get Alvin Kamara. So very cool. I like that pick for you a lot. I'm about to be on the clock now. And, yeah, I think we're going to do back-to-back wide receiver here. We'll go ahead and get Josh Allen's Keon Coleman, and then we've just got to hope that Christian Watson sticks around and do a little bit of a reach on him, and then we'll get some running backs kind of to fill out this team. But I don't really like any of the tight ends right now. Missing out on Kincaid kind of stung. I'm not going to lie. But yeah. I don't know what tight end I'm going to do now that I'm thinking about it. I guess like Jonnu Smith would be fine. Dalton Schultz could be okay. Not really sure. It is tough to pick a tight end in this range. I really generally I am coming out with Kyle Pitts, Trey McBride, Dalton Kincaid. No! There goes Christian Watson. Okay. So, since I guess we're talking about a confusion when it comes to the tight end room, I'm pretty sure, let me double check. Yes, week 1 even, the Dolphins will be playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll take Evan Ingram. We'll just take some Evan Ingram. Not getting Christian Watson stings. In fact, I would have rather had Christian Watson over Keon Coleman 10 times out of 10. I just did not expect Christian Watson to get picked at all. That's very frustrating. I'm not going to lie. I did not expect that. I mean, of course, you always expect a little bit of a wrinkle, but that was a few spots before ADP. I was already expecting to reach. I don't even think he has like Jordan Love. Yeah, he doesn't even have Jordan Love. So that's a frustrating pick, but a good one. Christian Watson is awesome for best of all. He has the ceiling. And that's why I'm okay with Evan Ingram, of course, as well. He's had some massive spike weeks in his time. So, Anthony, who you going with? You can maybe get Brock Bowers is actually gone. Brian Thomas Jr., solid pick. Get some BTJ. And yes, Jeremy, this is a weekly best. This is the weekly winners tournament. So there is basically you're just trying to be the highest score every single week. The season long importance is not there. So every week someone wins $20,000. It's a fun one. I find it very, very interesting. And I really do think that this is the contest where team structure is most important. You really do want to maximize your points as much as possible and try to attack certain games. You don't just want to go in and be like, this player is going to score a lot of points over the season. This player will score a lot of points over the course of the season. You want to look like who has the spike week potential and when will they have those spike weeks? How can we target that? So that's why I wanted Christian Watson. Again, the Dolphins will be playing the Packers at some point this season. And I feel like that's probably going to be a little bit of a shootout game. So I wanted it. Again, I got Josh Allen because the Dolphins play them twice. Houston plays the Ravens, so we can have a little bit of that. But the Dolphins also play the Texans. And of course, Keon Coleman to just go with Josh Allen. The Dolphins play the Jaguars, so we have that game with Evan Ingram. And it goes on, right? And what's cool, actually, I didn't even think about this when I pressed the button, but the Dolphins have some pretty damn good cornerbacks. So it's probably actually going to be a little bit of an Evan Ingram game. So that's kind of fun now that I think about it. Anyway, we are 9 picks away. Anthony, have you already picked yet? No, please don't take Jamison Williams from me. Don't take Jameson Williams from me, Anthony. Although you totally can if that was your plan. This is a draft room. You know, it's fine. I just plead you. Let me get J-Mo. He'll probably get picked anyway. I doubt he makes it that far. Let's see. What are my top 3 teams to stack in regular underdog drafts that are achievable? So actually, you can go to my Twitter at JFootballWine. I retweeted a graphic. It's also on the PlayerProfiler Instagram and Twitter, but it's going to be a little harder to find on the Twitter. It is pretty easy to find here on the Instagram. Let me pull it up. Did a graphic for really my best Week 17 stacks for the best for the standard leagues. Here we go. And basically, and there goes J-Mo. Basically, my favorite one to target is probably the Lions at 49ers, because while the 49ers are expensive, the Lions aren't crazy. Like, you could pretty reasonably get Sam Laporta. You could kind of reasonably get Amon-Ra, kind of reasonably get Gibbs, but Jameson Williams and Jared Goff are really cheap. And what I like about the Lions at 49ers Week 17 stack is there's a little bit of a double correlation you can play with. And if you like the NFC West, then you could attack the Cardinals at Rams along with the San Francisco 49ers and Detroit Lions. Or if you want to go with the NFC North, you could do the Packers versus Vikings to go along with the Lions-Niners stack. So that's what I like about it. There are 3 Week 17 games that kind of work together. The Packers, Vikings, Lions, Niners, Cardinals, Rams, 3 games kind of within those 2 divisions with some high-powered offenses. That's kind of where I'm going. Like, if I get Lions or Niners, I want to attack a lot of the players in that division. So here we go. On the clock again. We definitely need a running back. And we do actually, I believe, play the Steelers. No, we don't. We don't play the Steelers. We just play the Browns. Najee Harris is kind of who I want, though. Well, actually, we played the Titans. Let's get Pollard. Okay, it worked. It worked. Thank God. Oh, man. Okay, and then when it comes back, this is weekly winners. So I don't want to play my hand too much, but this is weekly winners. And there's a player here that should be pretty solid week in, week out. I like Najee Harris a lot on the season, but again, we do play the Titans week 4. And I do think that both of the running backs on the Titans, Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard, are going to be really solid for sure. Like, they're both going to catch a ton of passes, in my opinion. So anyway, Team No Good, don't snipe me again. Don't do this. I would like Rashee Rice. I think that's a very fun pick. Okay, cool. So, Rashee Rice. Weekly winners, guys. Again, just need him to have a couple spike weeks this season. He could be suspended for all I care. But when he's out there, if he scores me some points, I am happy. Rashee Rice should not, and I repeat, should not have the same ADP in weekly winners as he does in regular best ball contests. It just matters more, these weekly performances. And to have a potential wide receiver 1 on the Chiefs in round 9, sign me up 10 times out of 10. I'll take some Rashee Rice right there for sure. So here's the draft board. Anthony gets some Brock Bowers to go with his Devontae Adams. I like that a lot. Good pick. Good pick. Do you think Oguze has Odunze? He just not. Why does Oguze not have Odunze on his team? Crazy stuff here. Ryan says, I think Tajay overtakes Pollard early in the season. My Wake and Take team hopes so as well. We'll see. I genuinely think it is going to be a pretty even split. Like, I think it's going to be 1 drive is Pollard, 1 drive is Tajay. 1 drive is Pollard, 1 drive is Tajay. So really, I would like to have both in both Dynasty and Redraft. There's a potential here. I think Tajay Spears has a little bit later ADP. Yeah, there's a potential here I could get them both, and I would be pretty happy with that. So I'll go ahead and queue that up. But yeah, I mean, Tajay Spears is obviously a little younger, and he was actually 3rd in the league last year in breakaway run rate. So he's not just a pretty good running back in the pass game, but he's also a pretty explosive running back as well in the run game. So I do like Tajay Spears. I just also really like Tony Pollard. The main thing about Tony Pollard is we know that last year it was kind of more of an issue of health. He did come out and say that he wasn't healthy until around week 11. And then week 11 onward is when he was actually scoring fantasy points at a pretty high rate, like we had come to know. And he signed a 3-year contract with the Tennessee Titans, which was what, like $8-9 million a year, which is pretty decent for a running back. So I do think they plan to use him. And especially with it being a new coaching staff and all that, there's not much ties to Tyjae Spears. But of course, that doesn't mean anything when the player is as talented as Spears is. So I think that, again, I just think it's going to be a pretty even split. And I wouldn't mind having both the Titans. And the thing is, they're both kind of undersized running backs that could kind of get hurt any single play because of their frame. And so really, both of them have some massive contingent upside. And we'll probably have some weeks where they're the full 100% starter. And that is going to be nice. Ryan, I did want Tyjae Spears in the Wake and Take draft. It was between him and Zamir White for me when I picked Zeus. I went with Zeus, guys. I like Zamir White a lot this season. I am very confused why Zamir White is his current value right now. I'm not going to lie. He has true bell cow potential, and we saw him last year, I think he had 4 games where he was like the true starter, maybe 5, and in the majority of them, he had over 100 yards. Like, he was truly good, taking over 20 carries, was handling the workload, and the only RB competition they added was Alexander Sin and Dylan Laub, who's more of a pass-catching running back. So I still think Zamir White has a really good role this season on this Raiders team that wants to pound the rock. They're very old school. So I like Zeus a lot. And it's probably someone that might be available for me right here. No, he was picked. He had to have been picked. Where is he? Yeah, right here, 77. Anyway. Looks like Tyjae Spears is still here for me as we keep chugging along. Yeah, we'll take Tyjae. And then, this is tough. Tua is gone, so that sucks. Tua went just a couple picks before me. But that's okay. I have Josh Allen. It's okay. I'll be fine. Who could I stack with, though? No one really. I guess Trevor Lawrence. No, he's also gone. Okay. Oops. Oops. Yeah, we have. I don't know what to do at quarterback. I guess Will Levis. I guess I'm kind of stuck in Will Levis land. I could get Tyler Boyd at the end. I think he's a fine pick. That's gross. That is just gross. Yeah, I mean, all the quarterbacks of my teams are picked right now. Ugh. Is Jalen Wright picked? We're probably going to reach on Jalen Wright, I think, in this pick. Well, no. I should take the Hawk. I'm just going to get Hawkinson. I think he's perfect for weekly winners as well. If he's still there, if he stays there for me, that's the pick. Again, players that are going to miss part of the season, I don't give a damn in weekly winners. Give me the players that can score a ton of points in 1 week. TJ Hawkinson is that. So Evan Ingram, TJ Hawkinson, locking down my room. I don't think we have a Vikings game. No, just the Packers. But that's okay. Again, the Packers can play the Vikings. Right? I guess. And then now we just kind of have to hope Jalen Wright makes it back to me. I doubt it. 17 picks away, and that's right about where he is on the ADP. But if he makes it, I'm a happy camper. If not, oh well. And we've just still got to figure out what to do at quarterback. That is a pain that Tua went right before me. But whatever. Anthony says can't get boxed out. This is true. I mean, I'll figure out. I will get a quarterback. No problem. No problem. Again, Josh Allen is going to be my QB1 pretty much every week, so I'm not really sweating it too much not having Tua with my Tyreek, Jalen Waddle. It stings a little, like it would have been nice. I'm not going to lie. But I'm not that worried about it. Like I got Josh Allen for a reason. I'm fine just kind of punting here and seeing what could happen at the end of the draft. Another player, by the way, while we're talking about quarterback conundrums, another player that needs to have a higher ADP in weekly winners specifically is Justin Fields. I understand fading him a little bit for season-long contests, but again, when it's a week-to-week tournament like weekly winners is, these players with astronomically high ceilings in a given game need to be drafted higher than they are because it just matters more. And a player like Justin Fields, sure, he might not start the year, but I think we can all agree that he's going to take over at some point. And when Justin Fields is out there, he's probably going to win weeks. And so I might look at Justin Fields here in a couple rounds, or maybe even my next pick. Depending on how the ADPs are kind of shaking up. But either way, I need to figure out quarterback. I will say if you get Justin Fields, I would probably recommend getting a third quarterback, which I know is a struggle for some people. They like to just have 2 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends, and really attack their running back wide receiver room. But that is not always possible. Sometimes you've got to take the risk. Another quarterback, I think if you draft, I think you need to get a third quarterback with is Kirk Cousins. I think if you draft Kirk Cousins, you should get a third quarterback, whether that be Michael Penix or just another quarterback in general. But him being the age he is, coming off the Achilles, I don't trust him enough when you can't do waiver wire pickups or anything like that. I would like to have a third option. You don't want to lose your quarterback room in a best ball contest. You just don't. So that's the best way to do it, is to just draft a third quarterback if you have one of the riskier ones, like a Kirk Cousins, like a Justin Fields. But we'll see what happens. We're up in now, I think, 8 picks away. Hopefully Jalen Wright is there. If Jalen Wright is there, this team should make at least my money back, the $10 entry, get that back, which would be nice. We always love getting our $10 back. I did that last year. I made 2 weekly winners. I got my $20 back. I did not win anything astronomical, but I got my money back, guys. And this year I'm ready to win the money. This year I'm ready. If I don't win one $20,000 week, I'm going to be pissed. If I don't win $20,000 at least once, like what's the point? What's the point, right? So anyway, this is a good range, by the way, especially for weekly winners. Jahan Dotson, Dontavian Wicks, Gabe Davis, all of these guys have week winning upside. So I like that range a lot here in the 12th round, those wide receivers. I like them more even than, sorry, Tika, I don't mean to do this to you, than Jacoby Myers or Xavier Legette. I know why you got Legette since you have Deontay, so I'm not knocking the pick at all. Don't take me wrong. I like the upside of these 3 individuals, Jahan Dotson, Dontavian Wicks, Gabe Davis, a lot in their range. I think it's really solid. Even more so probably than Adonai Mitchell and Joshua Palmer. And Roman Wilson too. Well, Roman Wilson maybe less so. Roman Wilson, we might say a little less so, just because the Steelers might not have a ton of pass volume, but I still do like Roman Wilson a lot. I think that player is a total stud. Joe Mixon is the only player I'm worried about taking Jalen Wright. But he only has 1 tight end, so I could see, oh my God, he's Raheem Mostert. God. It's okay. It's okay. I don't even know what to do here. God, dude. I'm just going to time out and take Justin Herbert, I think. Damn it. And just have Justin Herbert. And then I'll take Kamani Vidal, I guess, and reach a little bit. I don't want Komet or Freiermuth. I don't want Sinnott. I don't really want Kendre Miller or Dowdle. Don't really want Darnell Mooney. Just attack my running back room. That sucks. That sucks. Jalen Wright would have been perfect. I have a high exposure to Jalen Wright. I have been getting him a lot. I do think he's going to be special. I want any of the Dolphins running backs. I like the rookie Jalen Wright. I think he has the most potential durability out of the room. I'm happy to get Justin Herbert, though, I guess, especially since I kind of needed a quarterback. 2 times now. Dalton Kincaid. No, there was another one. Christian Watson, Dalton Kincaid, Jalen Wright. Those 3 would have made this team so much better, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Kamani Vidal, I think, is a solid pick here, especially just to kind of mesh with my Justin Herbert. And I could take a late swing on DJ Chark, another player that I think is going to have some decent weeks in best ball. I swear to God. Team Noga. See, this dude just punting at tight end. What is he doing? If he takes Kamani Vidal. Okay, good. Give me Vidal. The Vidal Sassoon. That was a gut punch. Jalen Wright was a gut punch. Right there. Right there. But we'll go with the super skinny Chargers correlation. What about Marshawn Lloyd with the surprise Jacobs hamstring injury? I think Marshawn Lloyd is a solid pick for sure. I, of course, didn't end up with Josh Jacobs, so and Marshawn Lloyd was already picked. But I do think that he's a solid player. I love Marshawn Lloyd. I don't think, I will go ahead and put myself out there, I don't think Marshawn Lloyd will ever be a bell cow back, like some are suggesting when the potential Josh Jacobs departure. I think that if Marshawn Lloyd leaves, they will still bring in some sort of power running back, whether that be re-signing A.J. Dillon or what. But Marshawn Lloyd doesn't necessarily have the frame to handle a true workload like most bell cow running backs, but he is still so explosive and awesome. I would view him more in like the Alvin Kamara territory, which I guess not even there, like Alvin Kamara light a little bit, but a good explosive running back. I guess maybe Marshawn Lloyd could develop into a full workhorse. We'll have to see. He is still young, but I like his potential a lot, and I do want to get Marshawn Lloyd wherever I can, Dynasty, even in these redraft contests as well. He'll probably have at least a couple weeks. You do not like seeing the hamstring injury for Josh Jacobs already. That's a major concern. Because I think let me double check on Player Profiler. But didn't he miss the last few weeks of the season to hamstring? That's why Zamir White got some time. Let's see. It was something. I know it was an injury, of course, but if it was hamstring, then it's even more concerning. Josh Jacobs. Thank God for playerprofiler.com, guys. It's incredible website. Quad strain. Okay, so at least it's not a double hammy injury. It was a quad strain that took him out last season. But still, you do not like seeing the hamstring injury for Josh Jacobs this early into the offseason for sure. You don't like it. Ooh, that was an awful sip of coffee right there. That was terrible. Yeah. 8 picks away. We've now thrown in a very random Chargers correlation, so we could probably throw some Troy Franklin into here. Maybe Marvin Mims, because the Broncos played the Chargers twice. There goes Troy Franklin. I am so happy right now. I am enjoying this draft. I love this team so much. I love it. It's just incredible. I think Ray Davis. Let's get another Bill. I think Ray Davis has some potential on this Bills offense to actually have a role. We saw last year. James Cook is not a bell cow back. Okay, fair enough, Anthony. Fair enough, Anthony. That's fine. That's fine. That's just incredible. I love that. That makes me happy. I'm a happy camper right now. Wow. I hate this team, guys. I absolutely hate it. Again, I talked about at the beginning, I hate picking from early in these things. I just want to pick late. I hate having pick 3. I've had it a couple times now. I hate it every time. Anyway, I have 13 seconds to decide a player to pick in week 15 or round 15. And I guess we're just going to go with Marvin Mims. Not excited about it really at all. But if I was going to take Troy Franklin, I might as well take Marvin Mims. Eyeballing Dameon Pierce. Eyeballing Javon Baker. Eyeballing Devontae Walker. Actually, Devontae Walker is a super eyeball. Eyeballing DJ Chark. And maybe some Tyler Boyd. Yeah. I'm happy enough with my tight end room. Not crazy happy with my running back room. It's not bad. I like Joe Mixon. I like Tony Pollard. I like Tajay Spears. I like it all. I would like one more. I'm going to punt on Dameon Pierce. I think I'm going to attack wide receiver here. And the answer is probably Javon Baker, but to stick with, this is going to be a massive reach. Maybe I shouldn't. These are all reaches. I don't like anyone in this range right here, really at all, for this season. Michael Wilson, I guess, isn't terrible. He could be fine. Jonnu Smith, I guess, if I want to add another tight end, but I really don't. Oh, man. I guess here's what we're going to do. We're just going to go ahead and lock down Dameon Pierce. We're going to end our running back room. We get the Joe Mixon handcuff because he's old, stay with the Texans, and we're done. No more running backs this draft. We're going to hope these guys stay healthy. And just do the reach. And Anthony, if you take any of these players, which I'm sure you will, you listen to Wake and Take, you're a loyal audience member. I'm sure that you also like Javon Baker, Devontae Walker a lot. So I don't expect both of them to make it back to me, but they could. So we'll see. We shall see. And in case anyone's wondering, I have actually not been taking a lot of Ryan Flournoy in weekly winners. In fact, I don't think I've done it once yet. As much as I love Ryan Flournoy, I love him a ton, I have not had a Cowboys correlation team yet. So I like in weekly winners especially, it is super important to keep all your correlation together, even down to round 18. I know in seasonal, I'm taking the shot on Ryan Flournoy just because. But in these weekly winners, unless I have the correlation, I'm not really worried about it. I don't really want to take that deep of a shot. I'd rather take a deep shot on someone that fits the correlation in this type of contest. So as much as I love Flournoy, not as much for the weekly winners, unless I'm drafting a Cowboys team, then of course I'll go for it. 17 picks away. I'm just not even going to look at my queue. I starred some. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. This team isn't bad, but it's a frustrating one. It could have been a lot better. It was close to being a perfect build. I would rate it right now as 7 out of 10. No Tua is going to hurt it. No Dalton Kincaid. I think hurt it in the time, but not as much. I would have loved to have gotten Christian Watson instead of when I could have, but I didn't. But otherwise, I mean, it's not bad. I would have liked Ray Davis, but I'm fine with Kamani Vidal. I'm fine with Dameon Pierce. It kind of checks that same box. So it is what it is. Anthony, don't worry. That pick is not going to keep me up at night. It really won't. While it is slightly frustrating, it's not really the end of the world. I get it. It's a solid pick. It's a solid pick. Still got a whole round to go, or a few rounds to go, but we're now into around 16. Picking soon. All of the guys I starred are still there. I do like Javon Baker more than Devontae Walker, but I might go ahead and take Devontae Walker first if he's still there, just to go ahead and pair him with my tiny correlation with Zay Flowers with the Houston Texans. Just tiny correlation. Devontae Walker, I do think, is a solid best ball player. Deep threat on the Ravens, sign me up. So if he's still there, I'll take him over Javon Baker, and then maybe hope Javon Baker is there. I know that's probably poor play given the ADPs, but I don't necessarily have a reason to get Javon Baker right now. I have no Patriots. Actually, I do have the AFC East. What am I talking about here? So Javon Baker is actually a fine pick. What am I talking about here? Odell Beckham could be fine too, but I think I'm fine with just Waddle and Tyreek Hill. And there goes Javon Baker anyway. There goes Javon Baker anyway. So it doesn't even matter. I'll get Devontae Walker. I probably maybe Dameon Pierce would have been picked. There's a potential it might have been better for me to reach on Javon Baker instead of Dameon Pierce with my last pick. But you know, I wanted to go and lock down my running back room. I had to reach somewhere there. I might have made the wrong choice, but it is what it is. Joe Mixon, okay. That guy keeps sniping me. I was going to be pretty upset if he did it again. And yeah, I think I'll go DJ Chark. Or maybe Tyler Boyd. Or maybe Justin Fields. Just kidding. I like my quarterback, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. I think it's fine. I'm fine with my tight end room. So yeah, it's wide receivers at this point. Ooh. You didn't see that. You didn't see that, Anthony. You didn't see this one. That might be my round 18 shot. I think Chark first. I think Chark. Deep threat. pair him with my Justin Herbert, I think that's the answer. Tyler Boyd, I do think is fine, though, especially if you guys want to do a little bit of a late stack. Will Levis, Tyler Boyd, not bad. Not bad. Again, Tyler Boyd staying with his head coach, well, offensive coordinator, now head coach. I think that's going to mean a lot. I think that will help him. Anyway, what's J-Nex got for us? This is the guy that timed out. I think he's timed out a long time now. Isaiah Likely, Jonnu Smith, so he just gets the ADP. Team Noga. He's probably going running back. Wow, tight end. Jelani Woods, great pick. Absolutely incredible pick. And I think he has Anthony Richardson too. Yeah, incredible pick. You got Adonai Mitchell, Jelani Woods with his Anthony Richardson. Solid build right there. We'll take Tyler Boyd. Well, we'll keep Tyler Boyd there. So anyway, my last pick of the draft, I'm probably going to try to get Marcus Valdes-Scantling. I think that is probably going to be the way to go with my Josh Allen. End this draft with Mims, Devontae Walker, DJ Chark in the wide receiver room. Those are all some kind of deep shots that can, any given week have those touchdowns. So I think it will help out the back end of my wide receiver room, along with Waddle, Zay Flowers, Tyreek Hill, Keon Coleman, Rashee Rice. The running back room is, of course, pretty solid as well. We ended up with Joe Mixon, Tony Pollard, Tyjae Spears, Kamani Vidal, Damian Pierce. Tight ends, Evan Ingram, TJ Hawkinson. Quarterbacks, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. The correlation we have with Josh Allen, we got Keon Coleman. With Justin Herbert, we got Vidal. We got DJ Chark. And with Josh Allen, hopefully I can also get MVS here at the end. Get one more wide receiver that he could throw it to. Not a huge MVS fan, but, he's probably going to be the field stretcher on this offense. So anyway, should be fun. Should be fun if he gets that far to me. If not, I might just press the Ryan Flournoy button. I'm not good under pressure. I'm just going to press a button and move on. But that's kind of my idea. Tomorrow, by the way, everyone here, what should we talk about tomorrow? I had the drafting fever today. Didn't know what to talk about. Felt like drafting. Tomorrow, what we should talk about? We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out tomorrow morning. As always, guys, thanks again for tuning in. You guys are just incredible. Love spending my mornings with you. As this round closes out, go ahead and ask more questions if you'd like. Give some topic suggestions maybe for this week. Let me know how you're feeling about Wake and Take this off season. All of the stuff. We've still got about probably a few more minutes just kind of sitting and talking. Wouldn't mind some engagement a little bit. But otherwise, follow Player Profiler at all social media channels. Go ahead, start hitting the like button on this video. Go ahead and subscribe to Player Profiler. Hit the bell so you get notified when we go live. Tons of great content coming out every single day here on Player Profiler. We got drafts like this. We get little videos. We get little new stuff. All sorts of stuff coming out on Player Profiler, on social media, on YouTube, on the podcast network. Just an incredible, incredible place. Check out the website as well, of course, playerprofiler.com. And yeah, that's really it for the plugs. We still got a few more picks until I'm up. When am I going to break down the Wake and Take League? I thought about doing it this morning instead of this draft, but I kind of want to wait until it's done. Maybe not, though. Like, what do you guys think? Everyone here in the chat, do you want to wait for the whole draft to be done? I feel like we're getting to the point to where it's basically done, and we're kind of just taking some dart throws. So if we're in another slow news day tomorrow, I can check in on it, because I would like to break down the auction portion and just do a little bit of a startup strategy in general, because I do think there are some important lessons from this startup that a lot of people could take into their own leagues, especially if they want to do their own setup right now with some friends. I do appreciate the auction into Snake Draft. I think it's a really fun way to do startups, and I would love to normalize and popularize that way to do it. So anyway, I think maybe tomorrow, if we're still in another slow news day, maybe we can review this bad boy tomorrow. And yes, I know the September thing was a joke, but we really might not be done until September. It's moved. Well, actually, we're moving pretty fast now. We are. We've got some speed going. We're doing well. Justin Fields might go undrafted. I think that's a mistake. I think Justin Fields should be taken in this contest, especially. I think Justin Fields needs to be picked in weekly winners. I get my MVS. Never thought I'd be excited to get MVS, but here I am getting MVS. And that should really do it. That should be my team. The draft is about to close out. Again, we'll start round one, this is the order I picked: Tyreek Hill, Josh Allen, Jalen Waddle, Zay Flowers, Joe Mixon, Keon Coleman, Evan Ingram, Tony Pollard, Rashee Rice, Tyjae Spears, TJ Hawkinson, Justin Herbert, Kamani Vidal, Marvin Mims, Damian Pierce, Devontae Walker, DJ Chark, Marcus Valdez-Scantling getting the field stretchers to end the draft. And Mr. Irrelevant is going to be Chiga Okonkwo, as Jane X is going to time out for the upteenth time in this draft. They screwed up big time. They ended up with 4 quarterbacks and now 6 tight ends because they fell out of the draft room. They did somehow still end up with Brock Purdy, so good for them, but they only ended up with 2 running backs. That is just terrible. So yeah, I think I ended up with a solid team. I think this is a solid team. It's not as good as I wanted it to be, but I could see it popping off in a couple weeks. Maybe not ever the $20,000, but maybe getting my money back with it. So that's the squad one last time. Again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This was another fun episode of Wake and Take. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Make sure to follow me on social media. Make sure to follow Player Profiler on social media. And if you want to catch the podcast version, go ahead and find the link in the description. You guys have a wacky Wednesday and a wonderful rest of your week. Peace.
Hey, I want to take a moment to thank you for tuning in. It's important to me that all of our media be free. This is only possible because of you allowing a true independent sports media enterprise to thrive unlike any other in the business. So please subscribe to the All In Package to continue to make all of this possible, to ensure that all of our stats, information, data, content is available to you, especially you, the people that get the site and get the show.